into winter and starting to see colder temperatures, winterizing your home might be on the top of your to-do list. Well, Briana Chavez, you know her, she spoke with the manager of RV Corral to learn the importance of getting a head start.
Winter is coming, and the freezing temperatures are too.
The thing that people don't understand about freeze damage is that it can happen all throughout your system. It doesn't just happen in one spot.
Whether you have a travel trailer, a toy hauler, or a Class A, you want to think about winterization.
Kenny Gebhardt from RV Corral tells me winterization is an insurance policy, saying it's best to do it before the freezing temperatures. However, it's important to know what water system your RV or trailer has.
Back in there's a bunch of copper wires that run around. This is obviously your exhaust tube. And so the propane will heat up those copper wires as the water runs through it, and then you have instant hot water.
Kenny encourages people to avoid winterizing your trailer yourself. But if you're looking to get a head start,
Down here are your low point drains, is what they call them. You open these up and it will drain everything down to a low point and get your tanks all emptied out. You can leave these open all winter long if you want, because just to get all that moisture out.
and if you're planning to keep camping through the winter,
you just need to keep it warm somehow. So if you have an electric heating system or a furnace, which is a propane heating system, just keep that on when it's in storage.
And well, while we are heading into the official start of winter by tomorrow, you definitely want to make sure you are getting very well prepared. And if you are traveling throughout the next couple of days, whether that's in your RV, a toy hauler, whatever it may be, looking at the passes is one of the biggest things you really want to keep an eye on, especially when we start to head into a little bit more of that territory where we get more rain and mountain snow headed our way. Overall, though, our pass is looking like they're relatively bare on the roadways. That's not to say we could still see the potential for a little bit more accumulation in the form of rain-snow mix heading into the next couple of days. As far as the remainder of today specifically, we'll get a little bit of a chance of some increased moisture throughout the foothills and even into the upper elevations, but still no big chance of rainfall out there. Overall, into your Saturday early morning, enough of that instability to where we could see the potential for a little bit of an isolated thunderstorm further south along the coast into parts of the valleys, but really gradually also starting to see the shift into those upper elevations where we get a little bit more of those cooler temperatures and even a little bit more activity continuing to push its way on through, giving us a widespread chance of some rain showers and lowering that snow level. And again, while we do head into the next couple of days, more rain and dropping snow levels, we are going to get a little bit more relief in store for us. Through Saturday, we could get about a quarter of an inch. Heading into the weekend where we continuously get more and more of that activity, a total about 1.5 inches across the I-5 corridor, a little bit more than that. Now, taking a look at what to expect into the upper elevations of the Cascades as far as that snow accumulation, it's really not going to be drastic and it's not going to be much of a big concern. And most of that is because we aren't really seeing those snow levels to drop down because of the need for, or better said, because of seeing some drastically cooler temperatures out there. Overall, your weekend, though, going to be looking relatively wet. So going to be actually a good time to get on out there and get those RVs winterized, especially because once we do head into that freezing territory and icy, that's when it becomes a little bit more of a problem. And overall, it becomes a little bit more expensive on those bills for you. Throughout the weekend into the start of the week, again, kicking off winter with some slightly warmer temperatures and more of that rainfall pushing its way on in Monday into Tuesday. Come Wednesday for your Christmas morning, that's when we get a little bit more of a cool down into the overnight hours, early morning as well, but really not going to be a big concern as far as freezing conditions. So you still got that time again to maybe schedule that appointment and get your RV winterized. A big emphasis, I will say, Kenny did tell me, was to avoid doing it yourself because you could cause some more damage. So just keep that in mind when you do head out the door the next couple of days. If you're planning to winterize that, it's going to be actually a great week to think ahead. Of course, it is Christmas, and then we've got New Year's next week. But overall, it better get ahead of that, especially when we have some warmer temperatures in store for us.
Especially if folks, thinking about getting into a little winter recreating in the mountains. It's rain for us, but it's still plenty of snow at those higher elevations.
Yeah, and he did talk about if you are still planning to use it during the winter, just make sure you've got that heater going to avoid those pipes from freezing, even while you're using it.
Some good information.
A winterization is what he calls it.
Always good to have in mind. And winter's almost here, too, tomorrow.
We've got one more day.
There you go. Almost on the horizon. Well,